Welcome to the Cold Case Collective, where I'm Rocky and I'm here with my buddies.
Caden.
And Alex.
And today we're talking about the Kurt Cobain case, all the recent stuff that's been coming up. But first, we'll start with an overview of everything that kind of went down in his life.
I guess we will.
Yep. So the first part we're going to be talking about is his childhood. So he was born on February 20th, 1967 in Aberdeen, Washington. In his early childhood, he was described as energetic and a happy kid, and showed early interest in music and often sung songs by the Beatles. And one of the main events in his childhood was his parents getting divorced, with no specific date, but around 1976 is when they got divorced.
And about how old was he?
9 when he got divorced. Or not when he got divorced, but when his parents did.
Yeah.
No, we
Didn't really think that.
No. So he began moving between two households and never really got fully settled in to his, like a full. It just settled in the house, I guess.
He never really settled down in one area.
Yeah. And then his friends and family reported that he became more withdrawn and angry, just in general. And then he started acting out in school, and many family members later said that this period marked the beginning of his emotional struggle as a person.
So honestly, that's kind of normal and like expected of like that situation growing up as a kid.
Yeah, especially when you're that young. I feel like a lot of people, when their parents get divorced, they're usually like teenagers. But
yeah. Usually the parents try to like wait as long as possible to like soften the blow. Almost.
Yeah. Usually they wait till they're almost graduated, or at least at the age to where they can like understand what's happening and get through it on their own.
They got some good critical thinking.
Yeah.
So most kids, I would say, like if their parents go through a divorce around that time, they probably end up acting out. And that's pretty normal behavior for what he was going through.
Yeah. It's not something that's like crazy to say about a kid that has their parents divorced.
Yeah.
And then in his teenage years, he went to high school in Aberdeen. In the early 1980s, he struggled to fit in and had difficulty making friends because his style at the time was not very popular.
Yeah. Kind of like, what was that style? You know?
He's more like, he discovered punk rock and heavier music, and he listened to bands like Black Sabbath, the Melvins, and Sex Pistols. So around like punk rock was not very popular at the time at all. It was more of a niche thing.
Wow, so niche.
And then shortly before graduation, he dropped out of high school, and he refused to get a stable job. And at that time, he was asked to leave his mom's house.
His mother kicked him out.
Yeah, sent him
Get out of here,
to
Kurt.
the curb.
Bye, Kurt.
And then he stayed temporarily with friends and slept in various places around Aberdeen. And then at the time, he formed the band Fecal Matter.
Ooh.
Yeah. And did he have like any bandmates from Fecal Matter that he would go to Nirvana with?
She did. I lied about that part. No, he didn't. No. It's completely different people.
Well,
Although it did help him, forming this band and getting around in that scene. It helped him find the band members he was with.
Yeah.
So,
of course, he kind of got into some rings with some people.
Yeah.
Made connections.
Yeah, around that time too, like when he was in high school, that's when his drug abuse started.
Yeah, he started getting into, drugs like marijuana, psychedelics, other stuff like that. Not heroin yet, but, it's short to come.
Yeah. About like what age would you say that he kind of got into more of the heavier stuff?
Probably going into his 20s, early 20s is probably when he started. I mean, again, that's not very far from his time of death.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
From
pretty short life.
21 to 27, how old he was when he died. It's only 6 or 7 years.
About
Yeah.
About 6 or 7.
No, yeah. But an important part in understanding this whole case is his mental health, his family's mental health history, his abuse with drugs, all that other stuff. His family had a history of depression, suicide, and alcohol abuse. 4 family members in his family had either died by suicide or attempted. His mother had described him as an undisclosed depressive and said, depression had ran in their family. His cousin had also stated that men in Cobain's family struggled with self-esteem and used alcohol and other drugs to cope with it.
So he was like just super predisposed to all of this growing up. And with that divorce, honestly, that's just...
Yeah.
He was going down a rabbit hole he couldn't dig out of.
Yeah. At that point, I feel like he was like almost bound for something bad to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it takes a lot of willpower in someone to actually like guide you to like not go down a bad
Kind
path.
of break the family cycle.
Yeah. He was also around age 7, I believe, diagnosed with ADHD. It's not disclosed, but from the sources that I saw, it was around that time. And then later in life, probably around graduation, 18 to 19, he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression.
Mm-hmm.
So, we could infer that he'd had depression, but I don't know if he got diagnosed with depression, but I know bipolar disorder he was.
And ADHD.
Yeah, and ADHD. He was prescribed Ritalin at a young age, which wasn't very common.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, bipolar disorder could lead to depression, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say, they probably go hand in hand. He also suffered from chronic stomach pain, again, also never diagnosed, as well as chronic bronchitis, which you could, understand how he developed that.
Of course.
Yeah. So, we've gone over all the information that we have, but I had a question for each of us here.
What's
Do
up?
we think that all this stuff I know most people know that Kurt Cobain died by suicide, but some people might not. He died in Seattle on April 5th, 1994, and his body was discovered April 8th and officially reported on April 15th, 1994. So, do we think that with all the stuff that we said, with all the diagnosis, divorce, drug use, all that stuff, could that have led to him committing suicide at that time?
I mean, it could have, of course, led to it, but honestly, looking at the whole situation, I do not believe that Kurt Cobain killed himself.
Yes, these are all a lot of contributing factors that could have all came together to his inevitable end. I don't want to say inevitable, that's kind of rude. But, all these things adding up, you could definitely understand if he did commit suicide.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna ask this question at the end of every episode, and plus we haven't gone over a lot of information we still haven't gone over.
Yeah, this is just the overview.
Yeah. So with all his family history, all the drug use and stuff, I still don't think that he would have just committed suicide just off that.
Yeah, I mean, he was fighting for custody for his daughter at the time. I mean, I just find that whole thing hard to believe that he would just put up such a fight just to end his life.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think really the most important thing about this case is understanding that it'll never be reopened. It'll never be solved if, it turns out it wasn't a suicide. It is what it is. But it's always, I would say interesting or fun, per se, to look into it and see if you can come up with a different conclusion with evidence that it came out later or wasn't disclosed to the public.
Yeah, I feel like it's just best if we're a source to inform people of everything that went down.
Yeah, really, the idea should be for you to make your conclusion, as we'll make our conclusion at the end about whether we think he committed suicide or he was murdered.
Yep, and we will go over more information that will might change some people's perspective of the case later on in later episodes.
Yes.
So this has been the first episode of the Cold Case Collective.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.